My name is Nathana, and to continue our discussion of the environmental pillar, we will identify the actions necessary to meet waste management indicator. The generation of waste can be considered a socio-environmental issue, because besides being related to public health, it has consequences for protecting the environment. Therefore, it's important to understand the responsible practice being carried out by producers to create safe and clean environments. Today, we will show the practice that producers adopt to separate recyclable and organic garbage on farms, how composting of organic residuals is done, the use of residuals left over from the crop itself, and the triple washing performed before the disposal of pesticide packaging. Let's begin with recycling, which is the organized separation of recyclable dry waste, plastic, paper, glass, and metals, from organic waste, discarded vegetables and fruits, eggs, shells, and materials that cannot be recycled, such as personal hygiene products, for example. Interest in recycling has been increasing in the last 10 years in Brazil, especially in the major cities. As economies develop and more people can buy more things, more waste is generated, which then makes recycling even more important. However, recycling is already a reality for some producers in Brazil. They separate waste materials by type, which means, for example, recyclable dry waste and organic waste. And after this separation, this garbage is sent to the collection points, either on their properties or in a city. That means producers need to organize their garbage internally and drive, maybe a long distance, to a collection point, where a truck from the local municipality will collect it and take it to the recycling center. There is a lot of money and time spent, which adds further difficulties for the producers, from the separation of the trash to the transportation. In some rural areas, new consumption habits, similar to urban habits, have resulted in great diversity in the types of waste generated, many of which do not degrade, such as plastic, metal, and glass. That can be bad, because when disposed of incorrectly, they will remain a burden for the environment. Another practice usually performed by the producers is the composting of organic waste. Organic waste consists of food scraps and waste from gardens and green areas. Composting is a practical and productive idea because it promotes recycling while also creating organic fertilizer for the soil. Any amount of organic fertilizer generated is fertilizer that doesn't need to be bought, which saves producer money and also carbon emissions. Organic waste decomposes through a natural process, and this type of recycling can be done on any scale, from domestic to industrial, and in various ways, from the cheap and simplistic ways to more expensive and complex. Composting is flexible and useful for everyone, from large-scale commercial operations to people who just want to grow food in their backyards. There is also the organic waste generated in the process of agricultural production. For example, with coffee, some producers use machinery to break down materials for using compost or as a mulch. Essentially, composting returns organic waste to the soil, creating a sustainable cycle of life, taking what would otherwise be waste and putting it back into the soil. Buying fertilizer is expensive for producers, and while composting cannot completely replace fertilizer, every little bit helps. Previously, in the video Agrochemicals, you can see the link above, we mentioned triple washing, the practice of cleaning packaging for pesticides that are considered toxic, which can bring risks to health and the environment. So, producers perform triple washing to return these packages in a clean state to the companies of origin. This is a practice that can be done manually. It's the necessary personal protective equipment or draw machinery, but it must be done, because otherwise it can be dangerous for the producers, their employees, and the environment. Human beings create a lot of garbage. We are learning that not disposing of garbage in a responsible way leads to the long-term pollution and damage to the environment. Each individual throws away trash every day. So it's as much a problem of personal responsibility as anything else. However, for producers, it's a more pressing issue, because while they create waste, their livelihoods depend on the land. So they must take care of the environment, and in doing so, they help make the world a better place, keeping garbage out of the valuable ecosystems and water source. Producers are the shepherds of the earth, and we should be thankful for the time and effort they put into waste management and support their efforts to live and work using sustainable practices. We should remember that every decision we make has an effect on the future. Producers make decisions that are important for their futures and the future of the planet. You can make the decision to support their actions as a company or as an individual and help them ensure a better tomorrow for us all. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about what producers in Brazil are doing to protect and preserve the environment, then be sure to click like and subscribe, so we will be notified when we post new content. You can also listen to the reaction podcast for today's video at the link in the description to get another perspective on the topic.